I need is one touch. I need it from you, Jesus.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. Oh Lord. Um so did you graduate high school? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
You did. So did you further your
hmm
education past high school?
I attended Hogan Institute for a little while. I was enrolling, but I was finna do cosmetology when my brother passed away, so I never relocated back home. Couldn't really finish school. Then I am enrolled into UMA Medical Academy. Um, but we are just going through the little. I got some fast food hiccups going on with that. And then I'll
Okay.
be able to continue my classes on. But I am enrolled in school. At this very moment, I am at UMA Medical Academy. So I am still furthering my education. But my main thing was welding. Welding kind of got
Okay.
put to the side because of my whole living situation. I was supposed to start welding the same day I got put out. So
Okay.
I ended up not being able to start that class. But I do still want to do welding. I am definitely going to look back into welding.
Okay. Well, sounds like a plan. So how old were you when you left home?
When?
After you graduated? So you've left home
Um,
several times?
I've been in and out of my mama's house since I was 12, but I officially had my first apartment in my name at 17.
Okay, so what made you leave your mom's house at 12 years old?
Me and my mom just really wasn't seeing eye to eye coming up. After my grandmother passed away, we would bump heads a lot. And then it was just a lot going on with the situation that I talked about on the other interview.
Okay, so
That's around kind of like around the time I did. It didn't stop till I was 13. So I was.
I don't know if they know. A lot of people on my channel don't watch Atlanta Street interviews. So if you just want to skim through this, so you leaving your mom's house at 12 years old lets me know that something happened to you
Right.
in the home that you just didn't want to keep dealing with. So just run through. You ain't got to go through the whole thing, but just a little basic because you said it ended at 13 years old. So when did it start?
When I was 7.
When you were 7 years old, and this was a family member or mom's boyfriend
Yeah.
or
That was a family member, my big cousin. My big cousin basically was molesting me
ASI.
for a long time. Yeah. And basically, it was just a lot going on at the house to where my mama wasn't really. After my grandma, okay, so my grandma passed when I was 10. Like I said, this been happening since I was 7. So my grandma passed at the age of 10. My mom kind of obviously got distant because she lost her mom. So with her dealing with a lot of her emotions and me dealing with my emotions of losing my grandmother on top of what's being done to me, obviously, it was just like I was very rebellious thing to tell you. Like I did. I was arguing back and forth. I ran away from home because I didn't want to be there anymore. I left the note, but I ain't come back. I would go to school and I wouldn't come home. Uh yeah, I was just bump heads with my mama a whole lot. So around that time, of course, she just thinking I'm being rebellious. She put me out. So okay, well, you want to be out in the streets? Go be out in the streets. And then if she didn't put me out, then I ran away. So it's like I was just in and out since 12. When I first did 6th grade, I just started leaving. I got tired of it. I just started leaving. And the only outlet I really had was basketball. So once my outlet was taken away from me, it was like, okay, I just started wilding. They couldn't control me no more. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it, and I don't care who it affects or how it affects none of y'all, because none of y'all don't care about how I'm affected. So
so between the age of 7 and 13, did you ever have a conversation with your grandmother, your mom, your dad, anybody that's close to you like that to let them know what was going on?
well, my big sister told my grandmother a while back, like when it first started happening, I was still around 7 or 8. And she did tell me, and I just recently talked to her. She said she just knew it was something wrong going on in the bathroom because our bathroom didn't have a knob on the door. And so she peeked in and she seen that we both were in there. And so she went to go tell. She's like, she felt like something was off. And so it's cool. But My grandmother did call him down after that, and she asked him about it, or whatever the case was. But when he denied it, they kind of like she didn't really say
Pressed
nothing
her under
further.
her.
I'm saying. So to me, I felt like that just meant stop talking about it. Like if they said something or she told them and nobody did nothing, it's like okay, I'm not gonna keep, pressing the situation. I
Mm.
stopped talking about it up until I end up in Hargrove Behavioral Center around the time I was in 8th grade. I went to Hargrove in 8th grade and it came out again where when my dad found out about it, my dad was livid. He was like, okay, I'm calling the people. I don't care. He called the people and they were like investigating a little bit. And then when I ended up moving back with my mom, I didn't hear from the people no more. So the situation kind of like let it go again. And then my sister said something like a Thanksgiving. It was my freshman year around 2019 ish, going into 2020. My sister said something about it. The Thanksgiving. He was at our house on Thanksgiving, and my big sister was like, "Nah, man." She was calling him all type of rapist. She literally went off on him, and they was like, they basically put her out the house and told her to calm down. Like she acting out. They literally like calmed her down or whatever. It's like, okay, they left her alone. He left. After that, nobody ever spoke of it again. Well, my mom called him one time after that, and she did ask him, like she said, we walked in, Moan told me this, or whatever the case was, and he was just like, oh, cuz I got somebody to call me, I'm gonna just call you back later. And they never spoke on it again.
So this is your big cousin. So is this your aunt, uncle, somebody like that's child?
I don't know if it's like this every black family, but we all got that one older cousin that's really our auntie. So she my cousin, but we call her TT. So she really my
You
little
know,
cousin, but
and I'm
her
gonna
name
be
is
honest.
TT because she's an elder.
That's that's why a lot of things happen in the black community in our black homes because we always got some outside mess in our house or somewhere around our kids when they don't
No,
even
this
need to
my
be.
blood cousin. She's my blood cousin. We just call her aunt.
But she ain't your auntie.
No, she not my
She,
auntie. She my cousin.
that's what I'm saying. And then her son is has access to y'all
Yeah.
like that. Nobody's watching. You 7 years
Well, that's
old.
cause like this is why we call her our aunt because her and my mom are like sisters. They're very close cousins. They like favorite cousins.
Or
So
they
they
first,
rock
they
together
probably first born.
all yeah. So
Yeah,
they grew up in the same house. Like
right.
they're
We
like
all got
sisters.
that in our family. We all
So
got
that's
that.
why I said I'm like, I don't know if it's like y'all call y'all cousin auntie, but that's what it is. We
Yeah, we
call
all
her
got
aunt.
that.
But she
We
not
all
our
got
auntie. We know she not our auntie. We just call her aunt because it's the respect
right.
of language.
But
That's TT.
I'm just saying it's like that in pretty much a lot of families. A lot of
Yeah.
things like go on and it's left unsaid because nobody wants to talk about it. Or when you do bring it up, they telling you that you're too fast and the person that actually done it gets away with it and it's all swept up under the rug or whatever. And then you're left to deal with the emotional baggage that it scarred you. So now that you're 13
Mhm.
years old, you're 12, 10 years old to 13 years old, you're rebelling, you're not listening to anybody, you end up having to go to a behavioral home. It still sounds like no one did anything about it. They call CPS. You still end up back over there with your mom. So now fast forward to graduation. You graduate high school. Now you end up with girls.
I always like girls. I always like the girls more, but yeah, I've been dating girls since 4th grade. That wasn't nothing to
So you were 7 years old when this essay started happening to you. So you
do.
think that had an effect on the reason why you like girls?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I really always liked the girls more. Like I was always uncomfortable around guys until I got older. When I got older around like 6th grade and stuff, and I started really hanging out with boys more. But like I said, that was because at that point it was my choice. Not to say I was having sex in 6th grade because I wasn't having sex until high school. But at that point it was like I was choosing to hang out with these dudes. It wasn't, it was my choice. I just did what I wanted to do. I get to hang out with people that make me feel comfortable. So that's what I did.
Okay. So now that you said that you want to be a wife, so are you choosing to be with men now?
I like dudes, but I like girls too. I don't like girls. Let me tell you why I don't date women because my girlfriend unalived herself 3 days after my birthday. So that kind of like real life traumatized me big. Like when even at her funeral, I almost fell into the casket crying. Like it was bad. It's still really bad. Like I really miss her. So it's like I don't. It's I feel I don't know. It don't feel right dating another girl, and we never broke up. Like that's still my baby. So it feels very weird. I feel like that's probably why I'm like gravitating more towards men because I don't want to betray my girlfriend. I don't know. It feel weird. Like we had our whole understanding when she was here. We never got to talk about it, and then you just left me. So it's like I don't feel very comfortable right now. I think that's just something we have to
So
get
you
over.
know, I'm gonna give you the biblical thing about the same. Well, I ain't gonna say it in front of her.
Mhm. Mhm.
Dating the same as you and
Mhm.
I.
Right.
God says it's an abomination. It's like an unforgiven sin. Of course, we all have sinned. We all fall short. But those things he speaks of in the Bible, there's seven of them. And that's one of them that he frowns upon. And he calls it an abomination. So, yeah, being that you say you were dating this young lady or whatever, and she unalived herself, was she depressed or, she was
Yeah.
depressed?
Yeah. Her mental health was bad for a while. And then once her mom passed, her mental health really decreased even more. Like that was the icing on the cake for her.
So her mom
It was
passed away.
bad prior to that, but once she lost her mom, it was like no, once she lost her mom and her sister got separated, it took a big toll on her. Like it took a big toll.
So how old were you when that happened? Because you said that you and she were together when you conceived your daughter.
19. I
You were
look,
19
no,
years.
I had only like 2 months, if I'm not mistaken.
You
Two
had her
or
what?
so I had just turned 18. I
You
had her
had just
November
turned.
22, so I was 18.
Okay. So okay, girl, you got a story. You got a lot. Your life,
Hmm.
such a 22 years.
There's
Like
a
you got,
lot to unpack. That's I'm like, what part?
yeah. You got a lot going on in these 22 years. So let's talk about what you're gonna what is your plan to come out of this? Like what are you planning to do to bring out your mental, your spiritual, your physical? What are you doing now that because you're right now you're in a spot, you're in a place that God can deal with you. You're by yourself. Because that's where he likes to deal with us at that one-on-one. So what are you doing now that's gonna help you?
I'm really just analyzing my mental. Like, if that makes sense. I'm a person of self reflection. So, in times like this, when I'm by myself, or should or what I should do different the next time.
You cutting out. I think you frozen. There you go. Now say that again. You stop. You froze.
I'm like a person of self reflection. So at this moment, I'm really just trying to figure out within myself where I need to change and do better, where I went wrong, and what I need to figure out now. Like as of now, what is it that I need to be doing that's gonna better my mental health for me and my child? Like, I just really been thinking about that, taking my time to myself to get my mental back straight on what we need to be doing. Like
So are you taking steps to heal? Like from that 7-year-old girl, she needs to be healed. 7 to 13. So that's six
I
years.
honestly, until the interview that I just did, me talking about it, I never cried. Like I dealt with it up until like I was pretty much healed. Like I wouldn't say fully healed, but I was healing. And honestly, it was the point where I don't know if you seen like in the interview when he said the age gap in my face was like I paused. That's kind of what messed my head up a little bit because for this honestly, for this whole time, my thing was with this, especially still having to be around my cousin. Like I still had to be around him. Like prior to when my brother passed away, He was just at my brother's birthday party. Like we took a whole picture together. I had to make stuff like yes, I've been having to deal with this for years. Just be around this man and act like stuff is cool. So it's just like he. It was. I thought he ain't know no better. Like for me, I'm like okay. I was young. I was very young. So he just didn't know for real. Like something probably happened to him and he didn't know what was wrong. Until when he said the ages, now in my brain it altered it like nah, he knew exactly what was going on. Folks was definitely old enough to have took sex education and some more.
All right. So we were talking about the age gap between you and your cousin. How much older was he than you? Because you were 7, so he was how old?
It gotta be like an 8 year gap, 8 to 7 year gap. Because my big brother is 30. He around my big brother age.
Okay, so your brother 8 years older than you. Uh, yeah, he knew better.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would
But
know.
like
That's why I said I'm
you
like, when I realized that, that's kind of what opened up the new rules. Because then I had realized, like, okay, all this time I'm saying it to myself. I was basically lying to myself. Like for years, I lied to myself, and I got over it. I literally got over it to the point like I'm cool, bro. Like I'm cool.
you really didn't, because
Um,
that's why you were dating girls. You
like
just
I
shut
don't.
it out. Yeah, you just shut it out. You know what I'm saying? Like we tend to put things in the back of our mind. We think that we're healed from that, but if you were healing from it, that little age thing, that mentioning of that when you had crocodile tears, so that all everything that you thought you got rid of came pouring back in that instant.
Yeah, it did.
I
That's what I
felt
was
you.
saying. Like once I heard that, it was like it definitely triggered me differently because
Yeah, yeah,
for a while that's what was like I forgave him. I was cool. I forgave him, and then it brought it back up, and it was like okay,
right,
so that you knew exactly what you was doing to me, and I
right,
didn't think of it like that. But now that I'm thinking of it like that,
right,
it's definitely way worse. It's like
right.
okay,
So, do you think
that's
he'll be
something else I
willing?
gotta do.
Do you think he'll be willing to have a conversation about that, so that way you can like get that at least? Everybody gonna never know why a person does what they
It ain't
do,
even so
but
much
like,
as him having a conversation no more. Now it's me because if I'm being 100% honest, if I see him now, knowing like how I'm thinking about it now, I'm gonna pop off. Like I'm gonna pop
yeah,
off. So it's not gonna be no conversation to be had. It's no more words. Cause like I
say
said,
okay,
that at that point, that mean I've been lying to myself, and I'm
yeah,
not gonna leave have that.
right. So I got a question. Why? How is it that so many people? What's the question? Say it again, baby. What did you say? Like, why so many people require so much from her, and then what? Right. My husband was saying that it seems like you're not getting anything out of, like what you're putting out. Like everybody's steady taking, 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 taking. They're pulling you here, they're pulling you there. You going to them for help. You saying I need your help. You saying that this person did this to me. Why y'all not helping me or whatever? So you seem like you always give people, you give to people too much of you, and then you don't get nothing in return. So you're really pouring from an empty cup. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Your cup is empty. You can't give nothing else out. And then you got that 3-year-old little girl over there that you're steady trying to give to, and you're steady taking from yourself, but you know you got to give to her because she can't give to herself. So, in all of this, you were back at home, and you said when your brother passed away. So, have you ever been financially stable and on your own to where you don't have to have anybody else to help you?
Prior to me having her, I
Hmm.
did have my own. Like I told you, I had got my own apartment at 17. My first apartment I had at 17. So that apartment I did have. I didn't even need too much help with that. I did set it up like at first, I ain't gonna lie, like the first week of me living in my house, I didn't know nothing about calm ed or nothing like that, like the light people. So my lights was off and I was still in power from the building. I'll say it like that. But
You were
yeah, once I
17.
learned that, yeah, I was 17 and I had to learn all that stuff. So once I learned that and I learned like where I go to pay my rent and all that stuff, like once I figured that stuff out, I was cool up until I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I was very sick. So I fell back on bills, like I was in and out the hospital a lot, and I don't have people that's gonna help me with my bills. Like say, oh, I'm already 17 with my own place, but Lord forbid I need help on the lights because baby, you're in the dark. So
Yeah.
that's literally exactly what happened. My lights went off. I was in the dark, and I end up it just was like, you know what, it's kind of starting to be too much, and I just moved back in with my mom. And then like a week after I moved back in, with my mom, 2 weeks later, I had my baby.
Okay. And so from then on, you've
It's-
been bouncing back and forth. Have you been in your own since you've had her?
no, I've been trying to recoup since I've had her. It's harder because, like I said, that's when I first had her, everybody was like, okay, they was gonna help me work and do all these things. And then when it was time for that to happen, it was like, oh, I got this to do. You can't go. You picked the wrong shift, or I don't know why you're doing this. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then at the point I was working at the hair salon because I do hair, I had found like a me a little assistant position, which was cool. I was just making my money. My mom didn't like that I was at the shop all day like that. She's like, oh, you being gone too long. You got a baby or whatever. I'm like, okay, but I got my money, so you got to pick one. And I ended up losing my job. And so from there on, it was like, okay, they not finna help you get to and from work. We just gonna have to figure this stuff out. Like I end up having to figure some stuff out, but their main thing was so my family do this. They see me struggle, but it'd be like, hey, you can they literally said to send my baby back to Chicago where I stay out here and figure out what I gotta do, however I gotta do it, and they'll just take her. My thing is, why would I abandon my child? We
Not
all go
only
through
that,
stuff with
the
our
things that,
parents. We all go through downs and ups,
yeah,
and just
right,
because
right.
I'm down
And
don't
not
mean I
only
won't.
that, though, the things that you went through, I wouldn't send her out. Just wouldn't.